I'm Jordan Colletta, and we are so blessed to have a really special guest. We have Jacqueline Fritschi-Cornaz. She is coming up right now, coming out with a new Mother Teresa movie. It's going to be fantastic. We want you to know all about that. With that, Jacqueline, thank you for being here today.
Thank you. It's an honor. Very pleased.
What a blessing. So I know that you're coming into this role, you know, basically representing Mother Teresa to many of us who really have never seen Mother Teresa up close and seeing her in action. I've got to think that, first of all, was like a big challenge, but maybe a thrill concurrently. How was it for you?
Well, of course, it's an incredible challenge, but also a wonderful chance for an actor to, work with a character like Mother Teresa. It's the highest discipline for us as actors to work with a well-known personality, but it's also a wonderful, wonderful challenge. And I actually discovered Mother Teresa in a film studio in Bollywood. When I visited India for the first time, I entered in this studio after having met street children the first time in my life. And I was still so moved because I could feel and see their lack of perspectives. And I knew that I have to do something. I entered this film studio and there was this painting on Mother Teresa. And instantly I asked myself, how could this woman find the courage and the strength to get up every morning, even in times of troubles and doubts, to be there for the poorest of the poor. And this producer was very inspired when I asked him, shall we make a film about Mother Teresa, but a film about the woman, about the human being behind the saint. And he couldn't, find money in Bollywood, so Richard, my dear husband, and myself, we established the Zaria Foundation, and we did a huge fundraising over 10 years to find the funds to produce this movie. So the whole revenues out of this movie will go into the Zaria Foundation and will support poorest children in education and healthcare in the sense of Mother Teresa. So, of course, the 14 years which this journey has taken to build up the film with Kamal Moussaleh, a wonderful Swiss-Indian filmmaker, who also wrote this compelling script about Mother Teresa and the young Indian girl called Kavita. This was an incredible journey, and for me to dive into the character of Mother Teresa, to work in Calcutta with the sisters at the Shishu Bhavan with multiple handicapped children and also abandoned children, to go to a monastery in the center of Switzerland where I come from, to find out as a Protestant what is the relationship between Mother Teresa or the nun and Jesus Christ in the suffering at the cross. I visited her relatives in Skopje, the former Albania. They gave me this wonderful silver cross, which I was wearing at the Sari during the shootings, because all the family members from her mother's side were actually jewelers. And I could find out so much about her childhood, about her youth, about her family, which was wonderful. I learned, of course, some Albanian accent, and I learned some Bengali to be prepared in the scenes. And I also went into her posture, in her body language as a method actor. I was also very much involved in all the energies, which helped me to build up a real rich character. And we're so excited that now, after the release in Switzerland, India, and Latin America, the film will be released in America exclusively on the 5th of October.
Just fantastic. Thank you for the background. You know, I love what you say because, you know, for this movie to be effective, I mean, it really revolves around the love that Mother Teresa had for everyone, and having an opportunity to take a look at the film prior to us getting together today. I mean, it's very clear to me that your role is really kind of an image, a facsimile, a true characterization of exactly how she operated. And what I walked away with, to be honest with you, number one, I saw a person who, first of all, loved people beyond measure. There was no bounds. Things that I would look at and go, oh my goodness, are you kidding? You know, picking someone off the street as if they were cast away and they were covered head to toe in all kinds of things that no one would ever want to even get close to, let alone touch. And that didn't faze Mother, period. And that coupled with things like just her tenacity. I mean, she would not take no for an answer. If it was something that her sisters needed to serve the poor, or if it was something that the poor needed to be able to have dignity, to have services, there were no bounds. But she always did it with love. But boy, she wasn't a pushover, was she?
Yes, indeed. And you know, it's also it's our vision actually to inspire audiences around the world to really live with more respect, tolerance, and love and compassion. And Mother Teresa called it love in action. So we really have to get into action to change something. And there are so many crises, conflicts, and wars around our planet. So I think it's really wonderful if we can get inspired by a film, and if also younger generations can get inspired to create their own visions and stuck with it even in times of troubles and doubts, because that's also one aspect of the film. You know, we found these letters which were published in 2007 through one of her confessors, and I was so really sad, and I could feel this loneliness of Mother Teresa because she couldn't talk about her doubts, her incredible pain with the other sisters. She had to be the role model all the time. So these letters really helped me to feel what she went through and how much strength she had to create to, you know, to stay with her vision and vocation. And it might inspire people around the world and motivate them to really create their own visions and dreams.
Well said. Well, before we run out of time, I want to make sure we cover a couple things. One, we have a clip that we can roll. I'd love for our audience today just to kind of get a sense of just what we're talking about. So with that, I'm going to ask, let's go ahead and roll the clip.
Thank you.
You're pregnant, young lady.
What should I do?
Rest for a bit. You still have time to think about it.
You'll have to have an abortion.
I know.
You can't keep it.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. Kavita, oh my God. Diwali. You knew her quite well, didn't you?
Mother?
Yes.
Diwali?
Most people, when in total doubt, just give up on their dreams. But she didn't.
I need to take dying people off the streets. You have to give me a place for them. Now.
Some Hindus might not accept you. They might suspect you want to convert them.
If you want to destroy this place, take me and kill me instead.
Darkness. That's all I can see.
What do I need to know, for Christ's sake?
We just wanted to protect you.
I was so wrong. On so many things.
I'm lost, Father. Why does Jesus not love me anymore?
Are you here to save humanity or just yourself?
faith might be obscured by the clouds of doubt.
I don't know how long I will have the strength to live without faith, without love.
Absolutely fantastic. So one of the things I know today, we're going to have people saying, I want to make sure I get to see this film. So, Kathleen, how do they get to see this film when it debuts in the States?
Well, we're very happy that Phantom Events actually is releasing the film exclusively on the 5th of October. And on their website, you can find under, the title Mother Teresa and Me. You find the theaters around you. It's in 700 and more theaters all across the country.
Awesome. So one other thing I want to ask too, because I mean, we have you here up and personal, and I've got to think that, being an individual of faith, but I'm thinking when you do something like this, it probably motivates us as well, because you have got to get completely in the character. You have to be thinking like Mother Teresa. You literally are walking in her steps as you're doing the activities that end up resulting in the film. Can you share with the audience, how did it touch you or affect you from a faith perspective personally?
Well, it, as I said, has taken us 14 years to really get to the point where we can release the film. We already won the Best Film Prize at the International Film Festival in Rome, which makes us very happy. But it was a long way, and it has taken a lot of strength, and I had to learn to be as focused and as persistent as Mother Teresa. It also, of course, helped me to prepare the character. So in times of, inner doubts, or I never wanted to give up. But of course, there were times where it was very hard. We, for instance, were shooting during the pandemic in Mumbai, in Calcutta, in London. We had to take an 8-month break between Mumbai and London. So, and as an actor, you keep your emotions all the way through to be able to jump in any, specific moment. So it has actually shown me that we are able and capable to do much more than we believe. And I would love to motivate people to really, stay with their dreams and believe in their dreams. It's so much worth it, with prizes or without prizes, It's just so wonderful to be a part of a vision and to be able to change something, to have something during your lifetime which you really think, wow, I have the opportunity to be a part of, a whole team, a whole movement, a whole vision. That's just so fantastic.
Well said, well said. Thank you for that.
I'm so grateful for that, really.
I can see that, and I sense that. I mean, it seems to me the whole idea of the movie spawned out of kind of a motivation that you were blessed with, and then to see it through with your whole intention to help others to build their faith, to get through the tough times, and maybe to think back on Mother Teresa and how she was able to do that in very, very difficult conditions and situations, right?
Yes, and she, independent of any religion, independent of any culture, background, she was just there for the human beings. And Deepali says, one of the wonderful messages, that's the nanny of Kavita, whom you have seen in the trailer. She once says, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, we all need the same love. And I think if we are able to create love, it's a universal energy in our hearts. We can do so much in this world.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? Those words are so important today because it seems like worldwide, right, people seem to be being polarized from every different angle. And we can talk about a lot of reasons why, but none of those reasons are important. What's important is what you're saying, is that we realize that it really is about love. It really is about looking at one another for the person and forgetting any areas that we don't have agreement on, and find the areas of agreement and bring love into the equation, and everything else will take care of itself. And we need more and more and more of that, especially right now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, very well said. Yeah, beautifully.
Thank you. Well, I tell you what, the other thing I wanted to mention before we get done here, I thought it was very, I thought it was amazing, to be honest with you. When I looked at, and you mentioned it earlier, but when I looked at where any funds that get as a result, you know, get contributed, get raised, get paid, whatever, from the movie, no matter where it comes from, how that goes into helping the exact people that if Mother Teresa was there doing the work today, she'd be doing with those same exact people. I thought that was so intuitive and so smart.
Exactly, that was very important to us. And you know, the name Zaria, that's the Zaria Foundation name, means in Urdu the source. So the film and the foundation shall be on one hand the source of inspiration, and on the other hand the financial source to really support children in education and healthcare. We start in India, where Mother Teresa built up her work, because still today only 50% of the children can go to school, and we believe that education can really change something very important in a human's life.
Absolutely. I mean, once you get beyond the basic needs, you need to take it to the next level, and you're right on the money.
Yes.
Hey, as we
so
wrap...
all the tickets, you know, all the revenues out of the tickets and all future donations will really go directly into the NGOs and into the education and healthcare for kids.
Absolutely wonderful. Just one more time, if someone was sitting here listening to us talking, saying, I'd love to know more, I'd like to get a little more information about the movie, I'd like to... How could they do that? What's the best way for our audience just to find out a little bit more preceding the upcoming release in the States?
The release will be exclusively on the 5th of October over Fathom Events. So if you go on their website, you will find Mother Teresa and Me, our film, and you will find the theaters just in your area.
Great. And the website, do you have that website available that you could give us?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. So as we wrap up, I just want to tell you that we are just so blessed to have you today. You are such a motivation. When you first came on, I was waiting to see, you know, how I would recognize you back in the picture. And although I see some, obviously, resemblance, it's funny when you have people dressed differently. It's like, oh, yeah, that is her. But what a blessing to just have, you know, your whole persona and what we saw, what I was able to see in the movie. So I just want to tell you, it's such a blessing to have you. Thank you for all that you and your family, your husband and your family are doing, and all the group you've put together to be part of this. It's amazing, it's a blessing, and really on behalf of all of us listening to this today, I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you, Jordan, for your time and interest, and all the very best for your audiences, and looking forward to getting some feedbacks, of course.
Absolutely. Well, blessings to you. We appreciate everything today. And just for the audience, you know, think about that date coming up and be ready for it. As you saw in the clip, it's a wonderful movie. It's something that will inspire us and something to make us just build our faith up a little more. And with that, Amen, amen, and amen.